Need to know how to estimate your property taxes? You've come to the right place. Most people know that home ownership requires coughing up a large amount of money. There's your mortgage, of course, but the cost hardly ends there. You'll have to pay property taxes as well. If you're already on a home, you can look at how your tax is calculated on the most current property tax statement. If you're considering buying a home, look at the real estate listing for assessments and tax information, or go to the county website to find out the annual property tax. But be aware that property taxes can change. The assessed value on your house can go up or down depending on the local real estate market. Your assessment can rise or fall depending on changes you make to your house. For example, if you make additions to your property, and the tax rate can even change depending on your local government. Even though the government sends you a tax bill every year and tells you how much you owe in property taxes, it's important to know how that tax is calculated. There's a number of factors that come into play when calculating property taxes, from your property's assessed value to the mill level tax rate in your area. Here's how to calculate property taxes so you don't end up blindsided by the hefty home ownership expense. The market value of a home is basically the amount a knowledgeable buyer would pay a knowledgeable seller for a property, assuming an arm's length transaction and no pressure on either party to buy or sell. When a property sells to an unrelated party, the sales price is generally assumed to be the fair value of the property. One factor that affects your property taxes is how much your property is worth. Tax assessors can calculate a home's current assessed value as often as once per year. They only may adjust information when a property is sold, bought, or built, or even renovated, for example, by examining permits and paperwork by your local municipality. They'll look at basic features on your home like the acreage, square footage, and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, the purchase price, when it changed hands, and comparisons with similar properties nearby. Sometimes a home's assessed value will be strikingly similar to its fair market value, but that's not always the case, particularly in heated markets. In general, you can expect your home's assessed value to amount to about 80 to 90% of its market value. You can check your local assessor's office or municipality's website, or call the tax office for a more exact figure of your home. If you believe the assessor has placed a too high a value on your home, you can challenge the calculation of your home's value for tax purposes. You don't need to hire someone to help you reduce your property tax bill. As a homeowner, you may be able to show how you determine that your assessed value is out of line. The taxable value of your home is the value of the property according to your assessment, minus any adjustments such as exemption amounts. In addition to knowing your home's assessed value, you'll need to know another number, something known as a mill levy. That's the tax assessment rate for the real estate in your area. The tax rate varies greatly based on the public amenities offered and revenue required by your local government. If you have public schools, police force, full-time fire department, desirable school districts, and plenty of playgrounds and parks, your property tax bill will be higher than a town without them. Hey, you get what you taxed for. Your area's property tax levy can be found on your local tax assessor's or municipality website, and it typically represents a percentage like 4% to estimate your real estate taxes. You merely multiply your home's assessed value by the levy. So if your home's worth $200,000 and your property tax rate is 4%, you'll pay about $8,000 in taxes per year. Thankfully, in many cases, you may not have to calculate your own property taxes. You can often find the exact amount or ballpark figure you'll pay on listings on my website, Al.Roppolohomes.com. Or you can enter a home's location and price into an online home affordability calculator, which will not only estimate the yearly taxes, but also anticipate on how much your mortgage and insurance and other expenses are on your home as well. If you have any other questions about your home at all, please reach out to me or message me anytime. I'm here to help you.